Hello all, welcome to my channel Fundamentals of Civil Services Exam. I hope you have been following my videos regularly. For the last 2 days, we have been discussing the evolution of solar system, the evolution of universe and galaxies and the properties of planets in the solar system, etc. Today, we will be discussing the motions of the earth and its effects. So before diving to the topic, I would like to ask few questions. Have you noticed the sun in the morning, afternoon and in the evening? Is it in the same position throughout the day? The answer is no. It is seen east in the morning, overhead in the afternoon and west in the evening. So what is the reason behind the change in positions of the sun? Is sun moving? No. The earth is constantly moving. Because of the movement of the earth, the positions of the sun appears to be changing. But here the main reason for the alteration in the positions of the sun is the motion of the earth, not the motion of the sun. The sun is constant in its position and the earth constantly moving around its axis as well as around the sun. So because of that, we see the different positions of the sun from the morning to the evening. So as far as the shape and inclination of the earth is concerned, the earth is spherical in shape. It is not exactly spherical in shape, approximately it is spherical in shape. The shape of the earth is called geoid because we cannot compare the shape of the earth with any geometrical shape. The earth has its own unique shape. It is geoid, that means earth-like shape. And it rotates on its axis, which is an imaginary line that runs from the North Pole to the South Pole, passing through the center of the earth. So this is the axis of the earth, imaginary axis of the earth. And the earth's axis is always tilted or inclined from the vertical by an angle of 23.5 degrees. So if you take a graph, this is the imaginary axis of the earth and this is the vertical. So with this, the axis of the earth makes 23.5 degrees and this is the orbital plane of the earth. That means I already told you about orbit. Orbit means the fixed path in which the planets move or revolve around the sun, and with this orbit the earth makes 66.5 degrees. So that is the meaning. And the velocity of the earth's rotation varies from 1670 kilometers per hour at the equator to 845 kilometers per hour at 60 degree north and south latitude and 0 at the poles. That means the earth rotates, or the velocity of earth's rotation is 1670 kilometers per hour at equator. From equator to poles, the velocity of earth's rotation reduces, and at the poles the velocity is almost 0. So that means the velocity of the earth's rotation is maximum at equator and minimum at poles. And as far as the rotation is concerned, it is the spinning movement of the earth and on its axis, and the earth rotates from west to east and takes 23 hours 56 minutes and 4.90 seconds to complete one rotation. So the time taken by the earth to complete one rotation is called as a day, and the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution is called an year. So the rotation of the earth causes day and nights. So rotation is the movement of the earth. So because of this movement, day and night, the phenomenon called day and night occurs because of the movement or the rotation of the earth. And the line which divides the surface of the earth into a lighted half and dark half is called terminator line. For example, if you consider the position of the sun, this part of the earth faces the sun. Here it experiences the day, and this part of the earth is not facing the sun, so it experiences the night. So this line is called as terminator line. It separates day and night. And of course, day and nights are the result of rotation of the earth. And of course, because of its spherical shape. So spherical shape of the earth plus rotation leads to day and nights. If the earth had been flat in shape, then there would be a uniform distribution of light throughout the day. There would be no day and nights if the earth had been flat. And revolution. It is the movement of the earth around the sun on its elliptical path. So this is the elliptical path of the earth, and this is the sun. And the earth takes 365 plus 1/4 day to complete one revolution, and it revolves around the sun at the speed of 30 kilometers per second. And for the sake of convenience, we take it as a 365 days and call it a year. And the remaining quarter days are added once in every 4 years in the month of February. And of course, we consider that year as a leap year. It comes for every 4 years. So the inclination of the earth on its axis and its revolution around the sun causes different seasons. Yes, of course, we observe a phenomenon called season on the earth. It is because of its tilted axis as well as the revolution around the sun. So, as we discussed, in general, earth has two motions, rotation and revolution. Rotation of the earth leads to day and night, and revolution of the earth leads to the seasons. So, if you look at this picture, the earth is divided into two parts. That means the equator divides the earth into two parts. One is northern hemisphere and another one is southern hemisphere. And the northern hemisphere is inclined towards the sun for 6 months. That is from March 21st to 23rd September. In this six months period, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. If you look at the picture, from March 21st to September 23rd, this is the position of the earth. The northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, and the southern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun. So the northern hemisphere experiences the summer and the southern hemisphere experiences the winters. And from 23rd September to March 21st, the southern hemisphere is inclined towards the sun and northern hemisphere faces away from the sun. That means from this position to this position, that is from September 23rd to March 21st, the southern hemisphere is towards the sun and the northern hemisphere is away from the sun. So the northern hemisphere experiences winters and the southern hemisphere experiences summers. In this way, there is a shift of seasons in accordance with the position of the earth in the way to its revolution around the sun. So the equator faces the sun directly on March 21st and September 23rd, that is during these positions. So these 2 days are called equinoxes. So equinoxes means equal day and nights, equal duration of day and nights throughout the earth. So in the entire year, in 365 days, all the places on the earth experience the same length of day and nights for 2 times. Twice in a year, all the places on the earth experiences equal day and nights. And at remaining period, all the places on the earth do not experience equal duration of day and nights. For example, if you take northern hemisphere, in summers, northern hemisphere experience long days and short nights. And in winters, northern hemisphere experience short days and long nights. This is because of the revolution as well as the inclination of the Earth's axis. So because of the revolution of the Earth and inclination of the Earth's axis, there is variation in the duration of day and night throughout the Earth. So on 21st June, the Tropic of Cancer faces the sun. This is known as summer solstice. That means on June 21st and to our 22nd, the sun rays are exactly perpendicular on Tropic of Cancer. And of course, it is the longest day in the northern hemisphere and longest night in the southern hemisphere. It is obvious. And on 22nd December, the Tropic of Capricorn faces the sun. As Earth revolves, the position of the sun is changed. And on December 22nd, the Tropic of Capricorn faces the sun. It is called as winter solstice. Winter solstice with respect to northern hemisphere. That means the northern hemisphere will be under the influence of winter season and the southern hemisphere will be under the influence of summer season during this period. And it is the longest day in the southern hemisphere and longest night or shortest day in the northern hemisphere. So, and the next thing is perihelion, the Earth's closest position to the sun. As the Earth is revolving around the sun, in that path, the Earth comes nearer to the sun. So that position is called as perihelion. And the farthest position of the Earth from the sun is called as aphelion. So due to this closest position and farthest position, there is a non-uniformity with respect to the distribution of heat on the Earth's surface. And if the Earth is not inclined at 23.5 degree angle, what would happen to the Earth? Just think about it. If the Earth weren't tilted on its axis, there would be no seasons. So dear viewers, I hope you understood what is the main reason for the seasons on the Earth. The main reason is the tilt of the axis of the Earth and its revolution. If Earth is not inclined at 23.5 degree angle, then definitely there would be no seasons. That means the entire Earth experiences the same type of climatic conditions. So because of the tilt of the axis of the Earth and its revolution around the sun, we are experiencing the seasons. And we are experiencing day and night due to the rotation of the Earth and its spherical shape. So dear viewers, I hope you understood about the motions of the Earth and their effects. If you like my video, please do subscribe and share it to as many as possible. Thank you very much.